ama unatumia simu ama laptop?
Sim,
Okay.
laptop. It's okay. I
Oh,
guess it's
yes,
good.
we are live. Okay. So let's wait for people to join us and then we can start.
Okay.
Otherwise, Pauline, how are you today?
I'm good. I was waiting for this live like forever. I had gone
Me
to
too.
pick someone at the airport and then I came back. So
Okay.
I'm so excited. And I hope we'll be having this session maybe on Saturdays. I'm not sure, either Saturdays. You can
Yeah.
also try it, I don't know, it's late on your side, 9 p.m. Kenyan time. It's
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
around
we can.
4,
Mm,
maybe on weekends when you know that you're not going to like to go to class the next day.
yeah, that's okay. I think
So,
weekend is better. Either Friday or Saturday works really good.
yeah. So I
Yes.
don't know. Do you want to share?
Well, I see we are live. So I think to share the live, you mean?
Yeah, but it's okay. I guess
Mm,
we can continue with the conversation as we wait for people to join in. Oh, can you be able to edit the first part of it with your laptop or no?
edit the layout or add a banner.
No, no. Like for example, when after this live session, you'll need to post it on
Yes.
YouTube, right? Is there a
Yeah.
way you can edit it on your computer, like to take out the first part?
Oh, maybe. I think I'll try.
Yeah, with the computer you can. Like with the laptop you can. With the phone, no.
Okay.
So I guess we can start as we wait for other people to join in.
Okay. So.
And then I'll suggest maybe, I don't know what
Mm.
you're going to do with your name because anytime I tell people to subscribe, they're saying they cannot find your name.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna
Find
have
like
to find.
a
Yes. Yes.
simpler name, like Joy Japan or something that
Yeah,
will be,
I'll do that.
yeah. But it's always like you look for that name. Do we have any other name in on YouTube? If you don't have, then you're good to go. You can go with the name. But if it has someone else, especially if they have more subscriber than you, then it's
Yes.
to your advantage.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So I'll do that. I'll work on my name. Is my lighting okay, Pauline?
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'll do that so that it's easy for. I also have the same problem where people tell me they can't find me because of they find another Jolly Joy. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'll work
it's
on that.
because your name, you have to like write it. It's capital I, and
Mm.
Jolly Joy. Okay, it's a one name. It's Jolly Joy, but the first J is capital, the second J is small. If you don't write
No.
it out, you will not get the like your.
Do not find me. Okay, okay. I understand.
Well, I
So
think we can start. We can start as we wait for people to join. Because anyway, you're going to leave this live on. You're going to leave it on
yes.
YouTube for people to watch.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, so
Okay,
what?
so we can start. Yeah, we can start. So first of all, I see we have 8 people. Thank you so
Okay,
much for joining us today, and I'll be checking your comments. Thank you so much. We have Jaden, we have Oluthe, we have Jasmine, Carol, and is that Joss? Yeah, Irene Joss. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. I'm just so excited about this session because we started a journey of sharing information, and that's why we say information is power because with information you can change your life, and that's what we're here to do to help encourage people and just share our journey and how how it's been for us and how it started. And this is the same information. If you take it and apply it in your own life, in your own journey, you're able to probably get that job or probably come to Japan or you know and so I'm so excited today to be hosting Pauline. And Pauline also shares information about not just about teaching in Japan, but also about traveling to other countries and have opportunities. And I think really amazing. But guys, before we start, I'd like us to pray. Yes, let us thank God for this time, and also to pray for us who are all looking for opportunities and ask God for guidance and blessings. So let's start with our word of prayer. Thank you so much, Heavenly Father, for this opportunity. We want to thank you for giving us this time. And I just want to pray for everyone who will be watching this video and listening. I pray for your blessings. Lord, you know us. You know where we are at in our lives. And you know what everyone is seeking at this time. And I just pray, Lord, that you may hear our prayers and that you may answer us and that you may open the doors that we are knocking, Lord. And this we pray, believing and trusting in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you so much. So, yes, so today, guys, I'm hosting a wonderful lady, Pauline. And yes, her channel is Travel with Miss Thu, right? Is that the correct?
I
Yes,
travel with,
Travel with Miss
yeah.
Thu. Yes, that's right. So she is a wonderful friend and a person who is very good in what she does. Yes, if you check her YouTube channel, you will see that yourself. And I am so happy, Pauline, that you managed to join me today and just have this conversation. So please feel free to drop your question and we will do our best to answer it. And yes, and thank you so much for joining us today. So first of all, Pauline, let's start with introduction. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so thank you so much, Joy. So my name is Pauline. My official names are Pauline Thuo. Thuo is my surname. That's my dad's name. And I'm a teacher by professional. My journey started way back in 2016 when I went to Thailand to teach as an English teacher. I taught there for around 4 years. Okay, for 4 years, and I was able also to have my kids in Thailand. So I was raising a family and also teaching. Later on, I moved back to Kenya. I tried to stay in Kenya for a while, but things didn't work out. I don't know. It's always very
Mhm.
hard for you to like go back home and stay there, especially if you don't plan on what you're going to do back home. So
Mhm.
anytime you go out, if you decide to go back home, make sure that you have a plan. You know, this is what I want to go and do. But you going back home and just thinking like I would go back home and know what to do, it becomes
Yeah.
really difficult. So
Mhm.
currently I'm teaching in Dubai, and so I've been teaching all my life. That's all I can say. And teaching is a noble career. Teaching is good.
Mhm.
Like you don't get old. You get to learn every day. Being a teacher doesn't mean like you know everything. You get to learn every day. And
Mhm.
for now, I also started another thing on YouTube that is giving information, travel
Mhm.
information, anything that you want to know about travel, starting with visa processes, how to apply jobs abroad, and like I help you, I give you with the information where you can do these things without using a travel agency, consultant, or lawyer. And
Mhm.
that's basically me. Yeah, and I'm happy to
Oh,
be here today for us to talk about Japan. You can also ask
yes.
me about Thailand or other, because we'll be focusing on teachers, teachers, teaching
Yes.
in
Yes.
Asia, but mostly Japan, the process, what we need to know. And I'm privileged to be here. Thank you so much, Joy, for hosting me.
Wow, Pauline, that's really encouraging, and I like what you're saying there because, it's inspiring because I like what you said, about having a child abroad. I will come back with that question because I know some of us who have children, we are
Mhm.
afraid. We're like, oh, okay, how do we do it? How do we raise a child abroad? So I think
Yeah.
that's a good thing to even talk about because it will encourage us. And also, I like what you said about have a plan. Yeah, when you come abroad is really nice. There are nice places to go, good food and things to do. But must
Yeah.
you have a plan because when you need to go back home, you need to have a plan because things happen, because east or west home is the best. So things happen, jobs end and things happen. So it's always good to have a plan when you come abroad. And thank you so much for mentioning that. So now let's get into our teaching. Yes. Now, first, I watched one of your videos, and when you were talking about how you came, you were so young when you went to Thailand. to
Okay.
teach. How did you even like know that you can go to Thailand to teach? Because most of us tukimaliza shule after high
Mhm,
school, we just
mhm,
want to get a job. Yeah, we
mhm.
never think about abroad. Yeah. So how did you come about the idea of even going abroad?
Actually, Thailand was not my first country to start with.
Huh.
Yes,
Okay.
Thailand was not my first country, and I think when it comes to travel, it's not even about money. It's about
Yeah.
passion. Okay, passion.
Mm,
Okay, you can be looking for a job in abroad because you want to go abroad, but at the same time, there's always that thing telling you you need to go. And if you have that thing in you, you'll push. You'll find for this information. You try to know what can I do, what do I need to do for me to get this far. Okay. So
yeah.
let me take you back. When I was in high school, I was very good in English. Actually, if I have any classmate that knows me from high school, they used to
Mm,
call me the set book lighters because I was that student that the teacher would ask, which page in these set books that says this and this and this, and I would be the first one. Like I used to know those books, and I used
yeah.
also to teach kids. So teaching was something I never thought I would become a teacher, but I ever thought I was thinking that maybe one day I would become a teacher or I'll
Mm,
teach. Okay. But when
yeah.
I was in form four, I remember telling my friends, I'll never die without going abroad. Like I have to go abroad, even if
Wow.
it's Uganda. That's a plan I have.
Yes.
I used to say that mimi lazima nibebwe na ndege. Like I was so much into it. And then I leave high school and
Yeah.
there's this grace period where we are waiting for exams results and we are at
Mm,
home. We are that's the time you start your first kibarua or you go to a job anywhere
yeah.
during the from
Mm,
high school to until when you get your results. That time you
yes.
have free, if I can say. So I
Yes.
was working at a hotel. I got this job in a hotel where I was working as a waiter. I used to wash dishes and serve
Wow.
people. And I remember they used to pay us 200 Kenya shillings a day. But I was so
Wow.
excited because I'm directly from high school. I've started getting my own money. And again, I was the
Yeah.
first one. And then
Yeah.
immediately I got this lady who told me, do you know, that time there were no stories like going abroad. When people used to go abroad, but aungejua walienda aje, ulikuwa unasikia tu mtu alienda majuu. And that's why I always give information because we didn't have people who are giving out information. Even finding someone to tell you like this is what you need to do to go to Saudi. That time nobody could have told you that. Like very
Yeah.
rarely. You would hear,
Mm,
oh, fulani alienda majuu. You don't even know what majuu is. You think majuu is majuu. Me, by the way, when
mm,
I was going abroad the first time, I thought all people are white. Like majuni ya watu ni ya wazungu. I didn't know about Asians. I didn't know how to differentiate all those stuff. So
yeah.
let me make it quick. So I got this person and she told me, oh, there's this family in Turkey that needs a nanny. And
Mm,
because despite you being young, you can go there
yeah.
and work for 2 years, but they'll help you. They'll be giving you time to study. Okay, so
Oh, okay.
that's how it happens. And then the only problem was my ID was not out yet. I didn't even have a passport. Okay, so I waited for
Mm,
my ID, and then when my ID was out, because I was still young, I was 18. I had just turned 18. I had just applied for my ID, and then
mm,
it came out. I went and applied for my passport. My dad was against it. Like he was like, "You're very young. You haven't even
yeah.
gone to college. Why do you want to go to another country? We don't know who you're going to find there." And a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. People might discourage you, and even some parents don't support this thing where a kid should go
Mm,
out when they are young. But I always applaud my mom for giving me that trust. Like you can go out there if you want. If this is what you
yeah.
want, go out there and try to discover it by yourself. So
Yeah.
my mom helped me with the passport process. It was the
Mm,
passport job, which used to take a 1 month. They used to say it's one
yeah.
week, but it used to take 1 month. I went and
Mm,
applied for the passport. I got my passport, but the passport was having a different name. My middle name is Wanjiro, but the passport
yes.
had Wanjiko. So I had this
Mm,
mine who is kind of she's talkative, but she helped me. She told me, Shiro, no, 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 you cannot use this passport. It's not good. You
yeah.
need to use
Mm,
your you need to use the passport that has your name. And then I had to
mm,
reapply again. Got my passport and I moved into Turkey, and that's where my
yeah.
journey started. I was actually 18. I had not done. I turned 19 when I was in Turkey because I left in April. and I was turning 19 in August.
Yeah.
So I was still young.
Wow.
So I remember even when I got there, the first thing those people were surprised, like my host family, they were surprised. They were like, "You're from Kenya? You can speak
Yeah.
English? How?" They thought
Oh,
like we never go to. I
yes.
told them, no, no, no. In Kenya we go to school, and in high school we
Mm.
speak English all the time, so it's normal for
Yeah.
us, even if we haven't joined
Mm.
college. So I started working there. Actually, when the 2.5 years I worked there, I was working while studying, but I never.
Okay.
The funny thing is that I never saved anything to take back home, like completely nothing. I remember when I was going back home, I had only 30,000 Kenya shillings. That is $300. That's all I
Wait.
had. Yeah,
And were you paying for your college or was it a scholarship? Or
they
how?
were they were paying for my college. They were paying for
Oh,
my college.
okay.
But
Okay.
my money, let me tell you, my money was too, my money, they were supposed to pay me $250. Okay, that is
Okay.
25,000 shillings. That was my first salary, but they used to pay me that. Actually, the
Yeah.
salary was around 50K, but they used to pay me that, and then they pay me for my college, and they used to give me
Uh,
time to study and all that stuff. So,
okay.
those 2 years, I worked. All my money I used to send it to my mom. Why? Me, I was born and brought up in Zimmerman. When you wanna do a Zimmerman, na si Zimmerman
Yeah.
hii wadosi Zimmerman place kunaitwa Jagaini.
Zima. Yes.
That's where I was born and brought up. Okay.
Yeah.
So me,
Yeah.
nimezaliwa huko, and then I used to hate the life my mom had for like kurent. My mom
Mm.
was born there because she went to school in Kasarani. My mom alisomea Kasarani primary. So sisi ni bought out, if I can say it that way.
Wow.
So, but
Mm.
I used to hate that life where I grew up in a
Yeah.
place where we used to rent. So I just needed to change that life for my mom. So all my saving for Turkey nilizipea mamangu, and then she built a house. So when I was coming
Wow.
back home, because I was still young, sikuwa
Yeah.
najua, like I could have stayed there and maybe start doing something else. I was so eager to go back home and show people, oh, I'm coming from a Jew. Niko hata sikuwa na pesa. I don't know what I was going back to show them, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to go back home. And this is a mistake that so
Yeah.
many people do. You just need to go back home because umeenda a
Yes.
place in Nigeria for 2 years. You don't want to stay there longer to save. And
Mm.
the moment you leave Kenya, people will not see you the same way again. When you go back
Yeah.
home, even throwing 500 shillings, it
Mm.
becomes a problem. Mtu atakuuliza unaniomba 500 na umekuwa juu. What have you been doing? And
That's
this
right.
is the people you've been sending money to. Mtu anakupigia nakwambia pole nisaidie na thao unamtumia. But the moment you'll go back home without saving, and ujipate
Yes.
unajua when you go back home you're not earning but you're spending. So that money
Yes.
goes fast. Inaendanga haraka haraka, like inaishanga. You
Yeah.
see?
That's
So
the.
that's how me nikarudi Kenya, and so that's where the journey of Thailand now started. Again, nimerudi Kenya, I stayed for 1 year looking for a job. I got a job kwa Oil Libya, but I worked there for only 3 months, and then kulikuwa na mashida shida, so I had to quit. But
Yeah.
for 1 year and 3 months nimezurura Kenya nikijiambia mi niko na certificate ya majuu nitapata
Mm.
kazi. Nimezurura Kenya, I didn't get a job until I
Mm.
met, he was an agent actually. Alitukula
Yeah.
pesa akatoka, kuna jobs za
Mm.
Thailand, nitawapeleka Thailand, you'll get paid 100K. Actually they used to say the salary is 100K, and yeah, you just need to pay me the you just need to pay for the visa, which they asked. I gave out 50,000 Kenya shillings, but Thai
Yeah.
visa is only 4,000 Kenya shillings. So he took 46,000 Kenya shillings from me because I was so dumb not to research or to ask for
Mm.
information. And that time people used not to give information. See, kama saizi unaingia
Yeah.
TikTok and you'll find all the
Mm.
information that you need.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, don't forget the reason why napanga kwenda Thailand, but nilirudi na 30K. That case is yet ziliisha 1 year, it's over. Like
Mm.
zilisha kitambo, mi nimeparara. I don't know, but still
Yeah.
I wanted to go to Thailand and teach because that's what I wanted. That was my
Mm.
passion. I need to teach, and that's what I
Yes.
wanted. Unaona?
Mm.
So I paid for that. Where the money came from, usitake kujua, but let me tell you, you see the
Mm.
process ya kutoka Kenya kwenda Thailand. Unajua
Yeah.
nilitumia only 50,000, 100K, and let me tell you what I did.
Yeah.
My mom didn't have money. My mom akasema
Mm.
atauza hapa, atauza plot yake ingine alikuwa ameinherit kutoka kwa babake. And then she didn't have someone to sell to. Mwenye alipata akamwambia maybe nikulipe kidogo kidogo. So the guy decided to give my mom 100k. 100k nikatoa 50,000 nikapea mtu wa visa, of which alikuwa nimpatie 4,000 ama zilikuwa mingi 10,000. Unaona, achukue 6,000. But he took 50,000 from me, and that's why I always share information. To start it when people come and find themselves in the situation that I found myself in. And then now I have 50,000. I have to make sure this 50,000 is the one to take me to Thailand. Like, I was just counting the ticket. I never thought about where to go and stay, where to live, what to do. But eventually I got this one-way ticket with a dummy return ticket. If you know, there's a way you can pay a return ticket, but with a dummy one. And I got a 50,000. Actually, it was 50,000. I paid, I got my ticket, and the person made a dummy ticket for me, because when you're going to Thailand on a visa, you need a return ticket, okay? But now I'm going, I don't have any money with me. I didn't even have 50 bob. What's a way Japan at 10,000 Kenya shillings? Mimi at a 50 bob sikuwa nayo. But I had made this lady we were to go with in Thailand, and so when we met at the airport, me kufika airport nikajipata I had bought a yellow fever card. That's why I always tell you, when it comes to yellow fever card, make sure you go and get vaccinated. Usinunue. Mimi I bought mine, nikafika airport nikashikwa. Don't forget, sina pesa na ile ticket ikienda, so I with nothing. So I was caught. But the lady at the immigration, she was very, like, the check-in, she was very nice. She told me, Pauline, even if I allow you to leave and go to Thailand with this, because the dates are long, you're supposed to get vaccinated and then stay in Kenya for 10 days before you travel.
True.
Okay, so me, I bought the booklet na nikaandika dates zangu ati nilivaccinatiwa 2 days ago, kuonyesha venye vaccination yangu ni strong. Little did I know, for you to pass, to use a yellow fever card, you need to have stayed for 10 days after the vaccination. So she told me, you have to go back to the hospital. There's they take you a hospital, get vaccinated, have your yellow fever card updated and all that. I went there, I got vaccinated. They asked for $25,000, $25, which I didn't have. But the good thing, my friend had $25. So I told her, give me $25 and then I'll return to you when we get to Thailand. We'll get rich. 100k in 2016. That was a lot of money, okay, for me. You know? So she gave me, and then by God's grace, I went and I arrived to Thailand. Reaching in Thailand, I found like hakuna job. Hakukuwa na kazi. That's why I always tell you guys, there is no one who is ever going to give you a job in Thailand as an agent. You need to go there and look for a job. I went there, nikapata hakuna kazi. We got one job with agency. Iyo agency tukaifanyia 2 months and we were never got paid. And atungewashtaki. Why? We were working on a tourist visa. So they had calculated their move. They'll bring you in with a tourist visa. You work for 2 months. When you see, unajua utakasirika after the first month, you'll be quiet, like, okay, maybe they'll pay me the second month. Okay, when the second month came, they did not pay me anything. And then that's where we started, like, oh, we need our money, and they told us, no, we are not going to give you your money. Nothing you can do. For sure. For sure, we could not do anything. Why? We were working on tourist visa, and it has stated clearly, like, working is prohibited. Like, you're not supposed to work with this visa, so you cannot go and okay. But later on, I had now 1 month remaining, because a tourist visa has 3 months. This 1 month, I had for a school to give me documents so that I can go back home, because in Thailand that time, when you will go with a tourist visa, and then after you get the tourist visa, you would after you get the job, the school would provide you with papers to go back home to your country and get a work permit. So, and a work visa. Remember, I've been there for now 3 months and I've not been paid. So even if I get a job and I get those papers, I don't have money to take me back home in Kenya, and I have to exit, because Thailand is that country that don't deport people. So if you get yourself into mess, you'll be jailed until the time you'll get 60,000 Kenya shillings to pay fines and your ticket. Without that, you will live in that state. Like, nobody cares. They don't deport you in that jail until you pay 60,000 Kenya shillings and you have your ticket, return ticket. And now you'll move from the jail direct to the airport with your ticket at 60,000 Kenya shillings. So, but I got this school, but the
Yeah.
school I got, I was supposed only to teach twice a week. Okay, I
Mm.
was supposed to teach twice a week, but I took the
Yes.
offer because I needed papers for me to be able to
Mm.
continue. Yeah, but in the process, I started asking for information. Where else can I go apart from going back to Kenya? Because I didn't have
Yeah.
money. So
Yeah.
instead of going back to Kenya, where else can I go? And I was
Mm.
told, okay, you can go to Malaysia. The school can make papers for you and send you to the Thai consulate in Malaysia.
Oh,
In Malaysia.
yes.
So I said,
Yes.
okay, Malaysia is a bit near me because I don't
Mm.
actually need a flight to go to Malaysia. I can use a bus and go
Yeah.
overnight. Okay, the whole night
Ah,
alone in Malaysia. And I needed
okay.
around 2,000 Kenya shillings for me to be able to go to Malaysia and back and pay for
Mm.
8,000 for the visa. And
Okay.
I didn't have money actually. But though within those few days, I was going to this church and met this Nigerian family where it
Mm.
was the husband, the wife, and the three kids. And I
Yes.
told them my situation, and they were very nice. They told me, Pauline, we are going to give you this money because we know you have a job. Go to Malaysia, and when
Mm.
you come, we're going to pay. So I
Yes.
went and came back. That was the first time I went to Malaysia, by the way. I went, I
Yeah.
came back, worked for some few months, then I started looking for a permanent school. And after 6 months, I got another now school where I was employed by the government, permanently by the government. I,
Wow.
yeah, and where I worked for my 3 years, my first 3 years. Actually, I stayed in Thailand for 5 years.
Yeah.
That's where I worked for my 3 years. That's where I also gave
Yeah.
back in that school, the same
Okay.
school. Like, they gave me leave. They were so nice,
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
settled.
that's
So that's the
nice.
story about Thailand. Then later on, I came back during COVID. I stayed in home, went to Turkey, and then went back home, and then came to Dubai.
Wow,
That's
Pauline,
my
that's a whole book. Oh my gosh, that's
yeah, yeah. But
when you
that's
say
why I tell people,
yes,
don't admire me. When you see me, don't admire me. Let's
yes,
let's admire the process. The
yeah,
process I went
that's
to be
right.
where I am right now. So if you can
Yeah,
admire that, then you're good to
yes.
go. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, the things that people go through to get where they are. Oh my goodness. But I like that, one thing I like is that you just didn't give up. That was a lot. If it was someone else, I'd give up and go back. And one of the
Yeah.
things that I have actually realized, Pauline, that please do it's very important to do things the right way. It's
Yeah.
very important to do things the right way. It's very important to have the right documents. Yeah, have the right documents. Yeah. So for now, if you're in Kenya or you're back in your country and you're looking to going abroad, this is the right time to go for the right documents. Sorry, let me just put my phone on silent. Yeah, this is the perfect time to have your right documents because those things I've seen people being jailed in China also because of buying certificates. And that is so bad because you can be banned even from going back to that country, and that may actually cause you problems with going to other countries. So it's very good to have your paperwork in perfect paperwork. And Pauline, as you mentioned about the yellow fever, I
Yeah.
once sometime in 2019 I was traveling to Vietnam, and I was going with this musician from Kenya. She sat next to me, and guess what? She didn't have yellow fever. I think her yellow fever was, I don't know what was just a problem, but she bought the same way. Very last minute, and tell you what, alikujiwa ndani ya ndege.
Yeah.
Some guys just came into the plane and told her, "Hey, madam, sorry you can't travel because you're yellow fever, not passport. You have your ticket, you have your passport, but yellow fever can make you." So it's really good to have this
You know the
document
funny
right.
And you know the funny thing is the cost of buying is the same cost of being vaccinated. So why buy
Yes.
where else you can get vaccinated? So for me, I don't know why. I was not thinking, but at the same time, this is what I'll do. Agents will tell you anything. They'll tell you just buy it because they
Yes.
don't want to go through the process and they want things to be quick for them to get the cash they want and then it's
Yeah.
done. So he was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
just buy it." So I paid 2,000
Yeah.
Kenya shillings. Then I had to go and pay
Mm.
another 1,500 Kenya shillings for the same.
Yeah.
So I went
Yeah.
lost and I almost missed my flight. So let's get now into the real
Yeah,
thing.
so let's get into our topic today. I see your time is far much good, but I think that information is very important. Now let's talk about Japan, Pauline. You started the application process, you got the interview, and now you are almost coming. So please tell us about how was your application process? How has it been? And what documents did you actually need for the application?
Okay, so for me, I applied with Borderlink, and this was after we had our live session on TikTok. You remember the first live
Yes.
session? And the funny thing, this is what happened. I
Yeah.
never applied for that job immediately, but right alone, a
Mhm.
friend of mine told me, "Do you know what, Pauline? I applied for this job and I got a reply, and I was interested. How? How did they reply to you?" And this is what I did. Immediately, I went to the website. It's very easy to apply on
Yeah.
Borderlinks because you just need to fill in the first thing you need to fill in your information, just basic
Mhm.
information. After
Yeah.
that, they are just going to send you an email. The email will come to your phone, and
Mhm.
it's like confirmation email. You don't have to reply to that email. They'll tell you, yeah, this email is for confirming your information, like your personal information is correct. And then
Yes.
after some few days, actually, okay,
Mhm.
this is what happened. Let me tell you my story with Borderlink.
Yeah.
So I applied the first time. I waited for 2, 3 days. They never replied to me. And I was like,
Mm.
how? People are
Uh-huh.
applying, maybe after 2 days, they get replies. Do you know what I
Yeah.
did? I went back to the same website and I reapplied again. This is
Wow.
what the second time. Yeah, I did the first time, I never got
Yes.
a reply. So that's why I was telling people when you go to Borderly, when you fill in
Yeah.
your first, like the first process of application, and they
Yeah.
don't get back to you,
Yeah.
give yourself like few days and then reapply. There's nothing,
Reapply.
they'll not do anything to you, just reapply. So I reapplied, and do you know when I reapplied? The next day I got an email.
Wow.
You see, the
The
next day I got
next
an
day.
Yes, I
Wow.
got an email, and
Mhm.
the application form is like a template where you have to fill in your information. It's like a CV, but in a template where like you have to fill in your name, your education
Yes.
background, your experiences, why you want to teach in
Yes.
Japan, all that, all
Yes.
those information, reference, and all that. And then you'll have to forward it either in PDF or is it Word? No, it's not Word. It's either PDF or I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, it's either PDF or another one. It's similar to Word. I don't know how to say it. So
Okay.
I actually, let me tell you what happened. It was really
Mm.
difficult to apply because I didn't have my laptop with me. And with
Mm.
phone, it's a bit hectic. So I had to
Yeah.
call a friend of mine. And do you know, we did the application with him. He was in Kenya, but he was having a laptop. So I had to
Yeah.
stay on a call with him for 6 hours. WhatsApp call for 6 hours applying for
What?
that. Like he was telling me, you know him, he always come here with me on live. He was telling me,
Yes.
Pauline, what do you want me to fill here? I will tell him and then he will type it. By the way, I'll always be grateful to that person. We
Wow.
stayed for 6 hours trying to fill in that application form, and then when I was done,
Yes.
I forwarded it. And then after some few days, because they always
Mm.
reply messages on Mondays, that's when they send their
Ah.
huyo mwenye anasema anajiita engineer John Mwangi. He's the one who helped me to apply.
Oh, thank you, John Monkey. Yes.
So
Uh-huh.
Mimi, I stayed, and then the next day I got now the invitation to the first Zoom meeting where it's a group interview or
Yeah.
orientation. That's how they call it, and it was nice. Actually, it was early on my side. It was four
Yeah.
o'clock, so I had to wake up at
Wow.
3. I had to wake
Oh,
up at
okay.
3, freshen up, and try to be awake, just not to look sleepy. And then I
Yes.
wait till the meeting. And let me tell you,
Mm.
even if the teacher, you'll get tensed. Me, I got
I
into that meeting, and then I felt my stomach was full of water. I was like, no, wait, so what am I going to say? So I
yeah.
took my time. We were 5 of us, one from the
Mm.
US, one guy from the US,
Yes.
one guy from Nigeria, and 2 ladies from
Yeah.
Ghana, and me from Kenya. So
Mm.
we are 5 of us.
Wow. Yeah.
The orientation started. The guy explained what we need to know, and then it comes to question, which were discussion-based question. Like they will give us a
Yes.
question, and then they will
Mm-hmm.
tell us to discuss between ourselves. And one
Yeah.
thing I'll tell everyone here:
Yeah.
don't keep quiet. Try to interact during that
Mm-hmm.
group. and try to make sure your accent is okay. Wacha niwaambie, when
Yes.
ukinisikiza, by the way, nikifunza,
Mm.
ukinisikiza nikiwa kwa interview, you think it's
Mm.
another body. Me, I always change my accent. I fake
Yes.
talking on mapua. I always fake my accent. You have to do that. You have to do.
You speak like an English woman, huh?
Yeah, I become a native English speaker by faking, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
so when it comes to interviews, especially for teaching, you just need to change your accent. Hata kama itakuwa clear, and just be slow. Just
Yeah.
watu wanaongea haraka. They don't
Uh,
like really quick, because no one who will understand you.
yeah, Pauline, I agree with you because, you
Mm.
see, teaching English as a second language, you're teaching people who don't speak English. So even
Mhm.
sometimes the people who interview you, because some of the people who've been interviewed, they've been interviewed by Japanese people, and though they speak English, they need you to speak slowly so that they can hear you.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
even as you teach in class, you need to speak slowly because if you speak fast, the children will just look at you like this because they want to hear every word because they're learning the language.
Yeah, actually, if you watch the video I put on TikTok about me showing people on how you teach in Southeast Asia, you can
Yeah.
tell that I'm always very slow. Like, I'll be very slow in speaking and trying to
Yes.
pronounce those words in a way that they will understand. You see, so
Yeah.
if you're a fast speaker, try to reduce the fastness. Just be slower a little bit, because now you're
Yes.
not dealing with white people, you're dealing with Asian people, where English
Yeah.
is an L, it's not an L1. It's not an L1
Mhm.
language. So you have to be very slow. And
Yeah.
it was good, actually. We discussed, and then I was done, because there was that one lady who was like speaking all the time. She was from Ghana. She
Mm.
was like
Yeah.
talking, and I was like, oh no, I think they're going.
Now.
And then I waited actually for some time, and that's
Mm.
when now the second interview, where it was
Yes.
solo interview, and now it was not on Zoom, it was on Skype. It was
Ah.
kind of,
Okay.
because they asked me to teach. They told me teach about yeah, they told me to teach, actually. Yeah, they
Mhm.
told me to teach. They gave
Also,
me,
you had to do a demo class.
yeah, online on
Oh,
Skype. Yeah,
uh-huh.
so they gave me a topic, daily
Yeah.
routines. They told me to teach about daily routine.
Mm.
And the good thing is that that is one of the topic that you need to know when you're trying to teach these kids in Asia. Daily routine, this is where you teach kids
Yes.
about their daily activities. I wake up
Yeah.
at 7 o'clock, I brush my teeth, I take
Mm.
coffee at this time, I go to school, I
Yes.
have my break at this time. That's the daily routine. Okay? If in case you're
Okay.
trying to teach about daily
Wow.
routine.
Now, did you have to use any posters for that, or you just how okay? What's the tip for hacking that second interview? What are the do's and don'ts?
Okay, this is what I would say. And actually, there's someone who asked me about that question. I told you, you don't have
Mm.
to research anything when it comes to the second interview. Just
Yeah.
go there, just go there as you are, because this is what
Mm.
happened. You see, when I tell you exactly what is going to happen, maybe that's not what they are going to ask you, because I asked someone
Mhm.
else and you are given a different topic. So
Yeah.
when you put your mind like, this is what I'm going to get, and then when you go there you get something different, trust me, you're going to fail automatically, because your mind will be like confused. You are prepared to go and
Yes.
teach this, or you are prepared to go and be asked these questions, because someone else told me that they asked her to speak a little
Mm.
bit of Japanese. Like, she was asked to, yeah,
Wow.
speak
Uh-huh.
Japanese, but they never asked me about that. Like, they never
Yeah.
asked me anything. Actually, I remember she asked me if I, yeah, speaking like you. So they asked me if I could speak in
Mm-hmm.
Japanese. I told them, no, I'm not. I actually don't know. I know nothing about Japanese. But the good
Yeah.
thing with me, I told them I can speak Thai fluently. Like, I can speak Thai.
Okay.
And they asked
Mm.
me, "Did you learn Thai?" No, I told them the same way. I went to Thai when I knew nothing about Thai. But
Yeah.
with Thai, I got to learn the language, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm
Oh,
waiting for the last one. They emailed me a while ago. I'm
yeah.
waiting for the last one, though I'm weighing my options. given
Yeah.
that there's so many requirements needed for you to go
Yes.
there, of which
Yes.
I take an advice from you. Like I can go back to them
Yeah.
after everything is complete. Maybe I'll go back to them. I tell them maybe I'll not be able to raise this amount of money to come
Yeah.
with it in Japan, but I have this amount of money. Or
Yeah.
can you pay for my ticket and I'll try to bring this amount of money with me? Because this is what they told me. You will
Yeah.
be paid the second month, the end of second month. That's when you get
Yeah.
your first and second salary. Like they'll not pay
Yeah.
you the first month. The first month and the
Mm.
second month will be paid all together. So you have to go there
Yes.
with enough cash and I
Yeah.
mean enough money for your survival, because I guess
Yeah.
Japan is a bit different from Thailand. Thailand you can
Uh-huh.
go and survive with very little money, but with Japan, I guess the the cost of living is a bit high, right?
Yes, it is. That's right. Yeah, that's right. And actually, someone asked me to do a video. I'm working on a video on that. The cost of living in Japan is sure high. Yeah, I lived in Vietnam a little bit. Vietnam is very cheap. I think probably Vietnam and Thailand is their neighbors. So I think the cost of living is much cheaper. So when I compare that to Japan and Kenya, of course, Japan the cost of living is high because of the taxes you pay and all that. So definitely. And of course, the money you're paid, of course, is not what you'll be paid in Kenya. So that's why it kind of balances out. So, but the thing is, you have to be very wise in how you live and how you save. And I always advise people, go for, if you ask, because in the interview they'll ask you which region do you want to? Are you flexible working in the countryside? Go for the countryside. Of course, the countryside that I pictured when I was back in Kenya is not the countryside. The countryside
But
here is nothing close to Nairobi, even. It's far much better because, of course, it's a developed world.
yeah,
So choose the countryside because the cost of living is better compared to big cities. And of course, most of the people from other countries, Europe and the US, they mostly prefer to go to bigger cities. But countryside life is the best for sure. So that's a tip. Choose a countryside, and also just
actually,
saying that you're flexible. Mm-hmm.
actually, me, my first 3 years in Thailand, I was teaching in the
Yeah,
south of Thailand, which is it's countryside. I mean, like in that area, if you decided
yeah,
to use public transport,
yeah.
they had like timing. There was a van for 1 p.m., 2 p.m. No, after 3 p.m. So if you miss the 10 a.m. van, you will go to town,
Yeah.
or let me say town at that time.
Wow.
And then now you get someone to take you to the nearest city for you to take a taxi or a van, you'll have
Yeah.
to wait. So it was so inside where you had
Yeah.
to have a motorbike. Like me, I knew how to ride I knew how to ride a motorbike while I was in Kenya. But when I went to Thailand, I had to buy a motorbike at first
Wow.
because you think were gari. So I used to have a
Yeah.
motorbike. So that even when I gave back, I remember when I was pregnant, I used to drive a motorbike to school until when I was 7 months, and my tummy was like very big, and the teacher told me, no, 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 Polly, you cannot be riding yourself. So you'll have to. I had now a teacher coming to pick me up because it was not far from my school. It's a
Yeah.
walking distance, but you need to drive because of the weather, and also it's a bit far.
Yes.
If it was
Yes.
in Kenya, I would walk, but
Yes.
in
Oh,
Thailand,
yes.
no one would even allow you to walk. So I used to have a motorbike, and
Yeah.
that's what I to use to go to market. Actually, I used to drive it
Wow.
even 50 kilometers away from home, and
Yeah.
it was okay. That was the life. Actually, if you watch Thai movies, you will see like everyone has a
Yes.
motor. Students take themselves
Wow.
to motorbike, so it's just normal. It's
Oh,
just normal. Until
interesting.
even after I gave
Mm.
birth, I had to buy
Yeah.
like a basket for my baby. When I'm
Yeah.
going to market, I'll put him in the basket and then we'll ride the motorbike to the
Um,
park. It was really nice and normal for us. And he used to love it. Like
what?
he used to motorbike just to be in
Yes.
front. And I guess that's why Thai people have like small eyes. And
Oh my gosh, because of the wind, yeah. But it's interestingly, Pauline, even here in Japan, okay, Japan does not have mostly motorbikes, so mostly people here drive. But having a bicycle. So if you don't know how to ride a bicycle and you're coming to Japan, answer to practice. Start practicing, my brother, my sister, because so if you don't have a car here, of course the
Yeah.
trains are very convenient. But like I check a train, I live 5 minutes away from my school, but I usually have a bicycle. And when I came to Japan, I didn't know how to ride a bicycle nicely because I never rode a bicycle in Nairobi. But I was given a bicycle and I was asked, "Do you know how to ride?" I said yes. When I got on that bicycle, one day my boss watched me riding a bicycle and I was almost falling off and it was a rainy day. She was like, oh, she was so shocked. But I said, I'm okay. I just said it's because of the rain. But I got used to riding it. So I think it's really an important skill. And something else, it's important to have a license, have a driving license when you're coming from Kenya. Make sure it's renewed because you might, some employers actually will say, oh, you need to have a driving license because you be maybe can't you be living in a place where it's countryside and maybe you don't have. You need to drive to school probably
Mhm.
because the train doesn't get to you up to where you are. But anyway, Pauline, let's look at some comments here
Mhm.
that we have. So first of all, let me start with Jasmine. So hi everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Jasmine has a very good suggestion. If a committee can be set up so we can have Kenya on the JET program, it will be really awesome. The last JET program did was the last JET program Kenya did was years ago. That's right. So the JET program is the most amazing program because it's government sponsored by the government of Japan, and they do that a lot, but then unfortunately they only did it in Kenya once. But this is what I suggest: if you guys come here and then we can set up join together and set up probably a committee, and we can write to them together, and tell and let them know that we are interested and would like them to do another program in Kenya. I think that would be so amazing. So yeah, that's something we can do. I believe we can do that. And then talk about the difference between the ALT and an AIKAWA. So AIKAWA, I'll also do a video on this more. Pauline, we can talk about this in the future, in a future video, because there's a difference between ALT, and we said ALT is where you're an assistant teacher. So you're not the main teacher, but in the government schools, there's an English teacher who speaks Japanese, then you're the assistant teacher who assists, or rather, you're the one who teaches how to pronounce and how basically to read and all that. And then AIKAWA actually, that's what I work as an AIKAWA because I'm the main teacher in my school, because my school is an English teaching center. It's not a school. So I don't work for a day school. So for me, I work in a teaching center where people come after school, and that's why my working hours are from 2 p.m. to 8. So and that's it. Yeah, so I'll do another video whole what's the difference, and which one is better than the other. But of course, remember the government ALTs have more opportunities because the teaching centers are not as many. And then let's see another one. Praise God, love the encouragement. Thank you, Andy. And then Irene says, Jolly Joy, after a successful LT interview, is it wise to make a request to travel with a kid, and how do you do it? Okay, so what I'd say, I'll let Pauline maybe answer that, and then I can also comment on that.
Okay, so this is what you're supposed to do. Okay, to me, this is what I'll do. If you have intention of bringing your kid with you, just know you are the one responsible for that to start with. You're responsible for your kid, and there's nothing wrong with you going with the kid as a teacher. Actually, if you're going to teach in a school where they have the same age as your kid, for sure, the kid is going to take advantage of studying there for free. Like in Thailand, the school that I was teaching, if my kid had an opportunity to learn from there, it was free. They had told me it's free for all for this for the like students,
Yeah,
teacher students. You see, so it's always good. And the good thing with Southeast Asia, it's a very nice place also to raise your kid because those people are disciplined. They don't fear, but they have respect. Okay, so when
very true.
this is what I'll tell you. You see, in Kenya, we think that we respect our teachers, but we don't do that. We fear them, and that's why I will see a teacher and I will maybe try to be quiet, and after they leave, I'll start talking and even talk ill about that teacher. But these kids are taught to respect.
Yeah.
So even having a conversation with you, it's not like they're hiding. They'll ask you anything. They'll ask you anything. Anything,
Mm.
anything. I remember I used to go to class when I was pregnant, and they all used to ask me, "Teacher, how many months are you? When are you going to give birth?
Wow.
Is your
Yeah.
baby black or brown? Huh?" Such kind of question, like they are free. Can you ask a teacher
Mm.
like that in Kenya? Would you even ask that, why are you pregnant? Or you get a suspension, or you get beating,
Yeah.
you get all that. So it's really good for you to put your intentions earlier.
Yes.
Tell them,
Yes.
okay, if you have successfully gone to your first and second interview,
Yeah.
they are going to ask you eventually, but
Mm.
give your information earlier. Tell them, I'm
Yeah.
planning to come with my kids. Okay? And then you're good to go.
Yeah, actually, for me, I was asked in my interview, "Oh, do you have a family or do you have a child? Are you going to be coming with the child?" So, and yeah, as you said, the good thing if sometimes if you're working in probably an elementary school, you can take your child, but even if you're not, you can still take your child to a nearest one, and then their working hours are good because the school they go to is probably the school hours are the same. So by the time you're going, you can drop them and then coming back, and also the daycares here are really good. Probably if your child is going to be maybe leaving early, so that's really good. So,
I
but
have
the thing is, let them know, and you may actually not come with the child first, because you wanna probably come settle. Then you can, probably a family even. Maybe you can come first and then bring them later. But just let your employer know as you're doing the interview. Just ask those questions.
So I have a question. I
Yes,
haven't seen anyone asking that question. So let me ask you, because you've been in Japan for a while right now. So
yes,
what if I decide to get a visa to come to Japan? Is it easier to get a job when I'm there? Like I get my own visa. If it's a
yes,
tourist visa, I bring myself to
yeah,
Japan as a tourist and then look for a job.
yeah. Okay, that's a good question, Pauline. The challenge as it is before you could do that, but the challenge as it is now, the Japan is closed for visitors. Yeah, okay, there are categories. So they've opened for visitors because I had my fiancé visit me recently, but you only allowed family, that is either father, mother, or brother. They can visit you. They can get a tourist visa, or if you have a fiancé, you're engaged, they can visit you. But if you have a boyfriend, you can't invite them. If you're a solo visitor, you can't come because that option for visa is closed. They only allow group visit, group tours. Yeah. So if you're coming as a group, you'll be allowed. But then the trick is you are under the travel company and you're limited. But I was hoping they're going to open for tourists, for solo tourists, like normal touring. But that looks like it's not happening this year from what I see. Probably we have to wait until next year. But is it an option? Yeah, I've seen people talk about that. I've seen people use that option. So for sure, I don't know so much. I don't have so many details. But for what I know is what I have experience on. Apply jobs. Guys, you can apply jobs when you're in Kenya. And not just teaching, like I said, Gaijin. There's a website called Gaijin Port. Actually, Gaijin means foreigner. Gaijin Port, and they have all types and kinds of jobs. So you can also apply from them.
Yeah, I receive emails from them every now and then, and most
Yep.
of them are actually for teachers.
Yep.
They're not
Yep.
actually for teachers. Yeah, so that's true.
Mm, yeah. Okay, so let's look at other questions. Okay, let me see. I see John. John says, if I reapply, nitatusiwa by the way for interview. Oh, John, what does it mean? You applied then ulichujwa, or what happened? I don't
So
understand.
yeah, he did apply. Actually, he's the one who helped me to fill in my application form. So we
Oh,
had after he had an interview before me, and I asked him how was your interview. He told me it was okay, and then later on they sent him an email informing him that they could not take him for the second interview. Yeah,
why not?
I don't know.
Oh my
Maybe I guess I don't know if you can reapply immediately or not. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but I guess you can reapply, and I'm thinking. So let me ask another question. It's kind of funny, but still I'll ask.
Yeah.
Do you have like
Mm.
daily site for Africans or foreigners in Japan. I may get someone to invite me.
Okay. Oh, you want to meet a Japanese?
No, not Japanese, foreigners. Foreigners. I don't want the Japanese. I mean, like,
Right.
where I can
Yeah.
find groups of foreigners who are working in Japan. Maybe I may get someone and invite me because right now I cannot go there on a tourist visa. This question is not even for me, but for anyone else who would like to use that route. You know, nowadays you
Let's see.
can find
Okay.
anywhere.
Yeah, I believe there are here because anyone who comes here and they're single and they're probably looking to meet someone. There's Tinder, right? There's Tinder and there's all the others, yeah. Because I have a friend from Kenya here. I met a Kenyan friend here who works in an international school, and she yeah, she's met a couple of guys there. She's currently dating one serious guy, so I believe you can.
Yeah, we have to run. We have to.
Well, if you're already thinking about dating and you have not come here, okay, let's look at other questions. These
That's
guys
really,
were
really good.
interested with your
Yeah,
confidence and
people
energy from what I heard. I never thought I would make it through interview 1 and 2, but I was surprised. Irene, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Yeah,
but I
for
mean,
sure. In
by
interviews,
Irene
yes,
has a very nice accent. This is something I wanted to tell her. And that's why I told you guys, you need to fake this accent. I think for her, she speaks that way because the many times I've interacted with her, I always
yeah,
nasikianga tu akiongea the same thing, or not like the same way, but she has a really good accent, and I'm sure that is one thing that made them pick her. Because as I've told you, how you pronounce the words, how so you are, how you fake that accent. Usiende kuongea hapo Kikuyu Kiswahili, Kikuyu Kizungu. Try to
yeah.
fake it until you good.
Okay, no, that's true. Yeah, yes, that's for sure. You gotta work on your accent, but also be very energetic. Yeah, because they look for energy. Because if you let me say this, a friend of mine, I have a friend of mine who's working as a teacher in Vietnam. One day I'll bring him here so that he can also talk about Vietnam. And I remember he told me when I was doing my interview, he said, Joy, let me tell you, working as a teacher abroad, it means you're just gonna be a clown. You're the class clown, yeah? Because you gotta be energetic, you
Yeah,
got
that's
to
because
entertain. It's because some of these kids, if you're boring, they will they'll probably hate the subject.
yeah, they want you
So
to like
just
to
look for creative.
give
Mhm.
try try to be creative, try to be a kid.
Yes.
Like me, let me tell you, I do a lot of stuff that I should not be doing sometimes. And that's
Mhm.
why I
Yeah.
think how you dress as a teacher matters a lot. Sometimes you'll
Yeah.
find me like sliding in class, like sitting down and trying to study, just like that. Because you are an example. And as a foreign teacher, they don't just see you as a teacher; they need you there to to show them the other side. Okay, they just want to have
Yes.
fun as they're learning
Yeah.
this language. Because again, it's really boring when someone is teaching you Japanese or teaching you German language, which you don't know, and then he's just there speaking. He's not making jokes.
Yeah.
He's not trying to make the class more more interactive or fun. You know.
Yeah.
So again,
Yeah.
that's something that applies to all Southeast Asian or Asian countries
Yes.
where you
Yeah.
teach. You
I
have to
agree.
be friendly, you have to be bubbly, you have to be
Yes.
active, you have to have like you
Yes.
have to talk. Even if you're going to a new school, never be quiet like you're trying to no. From day one, be interactive. Try to interact with
Yeah.
those kids. Let them know you for who you are
Yeah.
from the word, you know?
Yes.
And that's
That's right.
what for you.
Yeah. And also remember, it's a cultural exchange. I also want to know about you, your culture, and where you come from. And also something else, because we have holidays, we have Easter, we have Christmas. You'll be actually asked to share or to do an activity during those holidays. Like now we have Halloween coming, and well, personally, I don't believe in Halloween, but I'm like, what? I've been asked to do an event for Halloween, and I'm like, where do I start? But it's all about being so creative and just bringing just helping children to get entertained even as they learn because they get bored. Anyway, our time is over and I'm trying to really look at questions. Let's see. Around at what stage were you asked to send your certificate? Were you asked to go back to school for stamping? Now, okay, let me mention something here. Actually, my job never asked me for stamping and all that. But I applied with Interact first. My Interact, they actually asked me for letters from my high school. I was like, what? So I had to go to my elementary school, my primary school, and my high school to get the letters. And the letters were to just say, oh, our schools teach in English. They use English language. So that's what all they needed. So I got my two letters from my high school and primary school and my university transcripts. And of course they had to be stamped. But that was Interact, which never went through. Okay, which I was successful, but it took so long. So I was applying for another one. I got another job. So, but this other job, it didn't have so many requirements. So I figure that every employer probably asks for different things, and you may find that even these recruiting companies they apply for different things. So Jasmine also says about they're desperate to recruit because that's how they make money off you. You get commission from housing and all that. Yeah, actually, these recruiting companies like Interact, Borderlink, they they are private. So the only government one is a jet, but these other ones are private. So and of course, that's why if you're a jet, you get paid more. If you hired by a private company, you get paid lesser because of course they make some commission from what you paid. So
And they don't
and also
holiday. They told
yes,
me they don't holidays.
they told
Borderline, yeah, they told me they will not be paying holidays. Like when
yeah,
kids are not studying, you only be paid when you're teaching.
yes, that's true. Actually, that's true. Like now we had summer break. Summer break
Mm-hmm.
was a whole month. And yeah, they don't pay you because you're not going to school. Again, that's another thing that happens here. You don't get paid. So if you choose to travel, but then what happens again? I was actually telling a friend because she asked me this question. So this is what happens, guys. Uh, yes, you don't get paid, but can you look for a part-time job? Yes, because what happens here is during summer there are a lot of summer camps and summer activities and summer schools. So they look for they're looking for people to work there. So you can apply in advance and have a job during that time. So you can either apply for the 2 weeks or work 2 weeks and then probably travel the other 2 weeks or yeah. But you can always can you do that? Yeah, you can. So yeah, so that's something to note. And I thought, okay, let me see if I've missed any question. Uh, okay, someone says, Pauline, I'm interested, but seen any course. How can I get there?
That will be a bit difficult because you need to have a bachelor degree in any field actually.
That's right. Actually, if that's true, because for sure, one of the biggest requirements is you need to have a degree for sure. And but I used to always say, don't just look at Japan. I mean, go to Pauline and see she has a lot of opportunity. Like Denmark is giving, is it Denmark that's giving green card? And Germany and other so there are other opportunities apart from teaching. So yeah, I think go to Pauline. She's the one who's really good on that.
There is
So
a
please follow
question.
her and yeah. So anyway, guys, we've come to the end of this. I hope we've done our best to answer all the questions. And yeah, again, we'll meet again right here next week, same time on Saturday, and let's talk more about other things. Yeah. So we'd like to talk about the differences. What is the cost of living in Japan? How can you budget? How can you save? Because you don't want to work and then all your money goes away. So those are conversations we want to have in the future so that we can help and empower each other. In the meantime, if you've not applied, yeah, please go look up. One of the videos that is I have is the recruiting companies. Go check them out. And yes, come over to Japan and yeah, let's let's encourage each other. Let's share this information out. If you know someone who needs this information, share to them. And you never know, you could change their life. So, Pauline, let's close. Give us your closing remarks.
Before you go, there is a question just been asked. Do you feel like you
Yes.
need to compromise your Christianity to participate in Halloween because it's not godly. Okay, it's not like you're participating, but you're helping kids participate. You don't have to participate yourself. And I'll give you an example. You see, in Thailand, Thai
Yeah.
people are Buddhist. They're not Christian. Actually, 99% are Buddhist. 80% of that 1% are Muslim, and only like 2% of that 1% are Christians. Okay, but the way those people live, their way of doing things is much
Yeah.
better compared to the
Yeah.
Christianity way of doing things. Those people are more nicer, they are more caring, they are more
Yeah.
helping. And despite you living there for how long, I used to go to we used to have, you see, the school is Buddhist school, right? So you
Yeah.
have to go for prayers with Buddha, but that doesn't mean like
Yeah.
because I'm a Christian, I'll not attend school function. I'm there for money, I'm there to work. But I know I have my God that I pray for. Okay, I respect them what they do, and they respect me for who I am. So it doesn't mean you doing that like you're compromising your belief or something like sort. Okay, so you can
Mhm.
always do such stuff not because you're compromising but because you're working and you just need to teach kids on what they want to know, because them themselves they're not conversant with Halloween. Even Japanese people, it's something new to them, but still you're being told to teach them so that they can be conversant about the world. You don't have to go
Mhm.
to the US and then you're shocked. You're asking what is Halloween, but you'll be remembering. Oh, I remember when we were in high school, we used to celebrate these things. That we used to have activities. So even if I don't believe in Halloween, when you go to US or when you decide to go to Rome, you have to behave like Rome. Whoever said that was not stupid. Okay, so yeah, no, not right at all. So I don't think that's anything wrong with that.
I, I think what you're saying, Pauline, is actually true. So what personally I have never celebrated Halloween. I'm a Christian and I don't believe in Halloween. Actually, I said because I have a church here, I said I'm gonna send a message to my pastor because my pastor, he's Canadian and he's also a teacher. And I said, I'm gonna ask him, how do you do this? But at the end of the day, for me, how I do it is I say, yeah, this is the origin of Halloween. This is how it started and all that. But I tell them about my culture because it's a cultural exchange. I'll tell them about my country. I come from a Christian country, and for us, this is what we believe. So again, I want them to know that this is what I believe. Uh, this is what it is. Yeah, this is what it is that Halloween means, and it represents this. But I also share with them where it comes from. This is what we believe, and this is why we believe this. So it is also that's an opportunity to also share with them what you believe, because you're supposed to also share with them about your culture, how you do things. So yeah, so that could be an opportunity for you to, to share. Yes. Okay, guys, thank you so much. So I think we're going to end it here, and we'll see you next time. Okay, Pauline, what's your channel? What's your YouTube channel? That Travel with School.
Yeah.
Yeah, Travel with Miss School. I will also probably leave the link on this chat, and you can go check her out. She has very good information. So thank you so much, good people. Thank you so much for joining us. I think we've had an amazing session, and let's meet again next week. The writing account says, Joy, your wig. Oh, thank you. You gotta survive with wigs in Japan because there's no salon. Yeah, so that's a tip. While you're packing, yes, please pack some wigs because you need them. So have a nice evening. It's 9 p.m. here. Have a nice afternoon. Thank you so much, Pauline. This was an amazing session, and thank you for sharing. And we'll be back here again. But we are meeting
Yeah,
in
we'll
your channel
actually be
tomorrow.
going
We're
live
going
on
to be
your
having.
channel. Yes, we'll go live on your channel next time also.
All right. Thank you so much. And yes, have a nice evening. And please remember to subscribe, share, and like. Okay. Thank you guys, and bye for now.